Hello everyone, I'm back and with a new video idea for you guys. I am going to tell you who I believe the Spider-Man villains from No Way Home would be in the MCU, since they are all from different universes that are not the MCU, Earth 616. So I figure, I just thought one time, who would these guys be in the Earth 616 MCU? So that's what this video will be, and it will be who they were, like, as a person, not as a villain. Like, if they didn't become villains in the MCU universe, who would they have been? So let's get started with Spider-Man's most iconic villain, the Green Goblin. Now, I believe that Norman Osborn would be in a similar position to the position Obadiah Stane was in the first Iron Man movie. You know, an assistant to Tony Stark or the Starks in some way. And I also think that he would secretly be trying to take over the company, just because in Spider-Man 1, he was the president and founder of Oscorp. Which is another thing that I should have said. Oscorp does not exist in the MCU, so obviously I can't say, oh, they work at Oscorp. Should be a little easy for most of them, since most of them are scientists, though. But anyway, yeah, that's what I think Norman Osborn would be doing. He'd work for Tony Stark, and then get fired somehow, or something happens when Tony changed to become Iron Man, and a good person for the world. Next up, we have Otto Octavius, Dr. Octopus. Now, in Spider-Man 2, he did not really work for Oscorp, so I say he's just a local scientist in the MCU, because that's what he was in Spider-Man 2. He was a local scientist. Oscorp just funded his tentacle arm experiment. And I believe, yeah, something similar to that. A local scientist. Probably a local no-name scientist, but yeah. That's who Otto would be in the MCU. And hello? Hello? Who are you? Sorry, I don't mean to sound rude, but, I'm Spencer Hatfield, and you're Spencer Hatfield, it seems. And oh my gosh, I must be from another universe, because I was just, finishing up my shift at the movie theater, and then a portal opened outside of my house when I got home, and I just was sucked through and came here. So what you been doing? I'm just, while I'm talking about who the Spider-Man villains would be if their variant, like who their variant would be in the MCU from Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what I'm doing. You're welcome to listen and give your opinion or something if you want. Yeah, that's just what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, I guess I can, stay for a bit. I'll find my way home afterwards, but yeah, please continue. Okay, then let's move on to Max Dillon, aka Electro. Now, I believe Max would be in a similar position like Norman Osborn. He would have been a firmer start employee, and he would have probably studied the arc reactor technology or something like that, since in his universe he studied or did things with electricity and stuff. So I believe he would have helped with the arc reactor and any other, like, maybe electricity-based things for Stark Industries. And then by the time, like, of Avengers Endgame or a little beforehand, or by Spider-Man Far From Home, I believe he probably would have been fired. And I don't know what he would have done after that, because there aren't many science buildings in the MCU other than Stark Industries so far. There are a few, but not a whole bunch of them. So, that being said, let's move on to the Lizard. Yet another scientist, Dr. Kurt Connors. Now, I don't think he would have worked for Tony Stark in any way in Earth 616. I believe that he would have tried to help replicate the super soldier serum that worked on Captain America, but he would have been doing other things with it, like putting advantages in the super soldier. Like in The Amazing Spider-Man, he wanted to give humans the ability to grow back limbs, like a lizard. So he probably would be doing stuff like that, take the serum, and he could turn into a lizard there. I don't know. This video isn't about how they would turn into villains in the MCU. This is what they would be doing. I believe Kurt Connors would be doing something like that. So he's just... maybe he has both arms in the MCU. His variant does. I'm not quite sure. But, finally, let's move on to Sandman. Flint Marko. And he's kind of an easy one. He was kind of just a common thief and crime villain, which there's nothing wrong with that in Spider-Man 3. But I believe he would just be a local thief in the MCU. Like, not every villain has to have some sort of superpowers. And there you go. That's what I believe who I believe the Spider-Man villains, who they would be in the MCU. And I did skip Venom because at the end of No Way Home, Venom did leave a part of himself in the MCU, so technically he's in the MCU. So what do you think of that? That's great, and I'm going to try to get home now. Great video. And yes, guys who are viewing this, don't forget to tie your shoe. Alright, well, good luck with that. And to you guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And please don't forget to tie your shoe.